Ickes.
Well, what's the saying? I rise in opposition, but I'll sit. I've already stated my views on this, and I represent Senator Clinton in this regard. We find it inexplicable that this body that is supposedly devoted to rules is going to fly in the face of, other than for our affirmative action rules, the single most fundamental rule in the delegate selection process. That is fair reflection. It is, as I said earlier this morning, in my view, analogous to the First Amendment of the United States Constitution. It is that fundamental and that bedrock. This motion will hijack, remove 4 delegates, won by Hillary Clinton, and most importantly, reflect the preferences of 600,000 Michigan voters. This body of 30 individuals has decided that they're going to substitute their judgment for 600,000 voters. And that's what I call democracy.
Is there anyone else who would like to speak?
There's been a lot of rhetoric during this meeting about.
Sorry, I thought you were through.
There's been a lot of rhetoric during this meeting about democracy and on and on and on. I am stunned that we have the gall and the chutzpah to substitute our judgment for 600,000 voters. Was the process flawed? You bet your ass it was flawed. It's hard to find an election in the United States that isn't flawed. Did a lot of people not vote? You bet your ass a lot of people didn't vote. Look at the voting stats. You want to say something, Mr. Dawson? Look at the voting stats. This country has one of the lowest participation rates of democracies around the world. That is not an excuse. I've never heard that advanced as an excuse to overturn elections, to substitute the judgment for the voters. Hell, we wouldn't have, I don't think one election would stand the test that has been laid down here. As Don Fowler has eloquently last night, and as more wine was consumed, the more eloquent he became, pointed out that this is in the charter. This is not a bylaw. This is in the highest document of our party. This is in the Constitution of our party. Fair reflection. You cannot take delegates from one candidate and give to another. Not only will this motion hijack 4 delegates from Mrs. Clinton, it will take 55 delegates from uncommitted status, which is a recognized presidential status under our Constitution, and convert them to Barack Obama. So I'm going to vote against the motion, and I hope others join me. Finally, there's been a lot of talk about party unity. Let's all come together, wrap our arms around each other. I submit to you, ladies and gentlemen, that hijacking 4 delegates notwithstanding the flawed aspect of this, is not a good way to start down the path of party unity. Finally, one final word. Mrs. Clinton has instructed me to reserve her rights to take this to the Credentials Committee.
All right. We will proceed to a vote on this motion. And I'm going to ask the maker of the motion to read it again because it is, we need to have it specifically in front of us.
I move that all pledged delegate positions in Michigan be restored, provided that each pledged delegate shall be entitled to cast 1/2 vote. The pledged delegate position should be allocated as follows. Senator Clinton, 69 delegates, casting 34.5 votes. Senator Obama, 59 delegates, casting 29.5 votes. All unpledged delegates allocated by the call shall be entitled to cast 1/2 vote. The Michigan Democratic Party shall conduct a process to fill the pledged delegate positions in accordance with Rules 5, 6, 7, and 12 of the delegate selection rules, including candidate right of approval.
Would all those in favor of the motion signify by raising your hand? Thank you. There are 19 votes in favor. All those opposed to the motion, please signify by raising your hand. There are 8 votes against. Are there any abstentions? There are no abstentions. The motion carries.
Martha Fuller-Croft, you have a...
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Mr. Co-Chairman, Mr. Roosevelt, I do not believe that everyone was able to hear, due to the raucous in the hall, what the yes vote was. So would you remind, once we can have it quiet...
Please have the courtesy to allow people to hear what the vote was.
I would request that you would repeat.
Could we please ask the security at the door to please secure the doors? The meeting is still in session. I would respectfully request that we keep the doors closed.
Mr. Chairman, I would request that you repeat the vote for the yes vote and the vote for the no vote. Thank you.
The vote on the motion regarding Michigan was 19 in favor, 8 opposed, and no abstentions. Now,
they took delegates that Hillary Clinton won fair and square. They went into a polling booth. They voted for Hillary Clinton. They took them away from her based on no formula. They took uncommitted under Rule 12 of the DNC. Uncommitted have to stay uncommitted. That's how they voted, and said, you know what, we're just going to give them all to Senator Obama. You bet. They stole those votes from Hillary Clinton. It's not fair.
In Michigan, I don't know what they did. It didn't make a lick of sense to me. They said, we're not only going to give Senator Obama the delegates equivalent to 100% of the uncommitted votes, even though some of those votes were for John Edwards and others, we're going to give him some more just to shut everybody up.